Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very well. For today's valued viewer requested question, we've got Mr. Kelly Baker. Mr. Kelly Baker has asked, got a test for you to try, if you will. Look up Growling Sidewinder DCS F-15 Eagle versus F-18 Hornet Dogfight PvP. In the comments section, look for Jerry LaGrou's comment. He explains a way of fighting the F-15 that isn't normally done. So I think he means fighting with the F-15 rather than against the F-15. Instead of a horizontal turn or a 30-degree spiral dive, he talks about a 30-degree spiral climb using the Eagle's superior thruster weight, saying something about spiral climb feeling weak and vulnerable is still superior to the Hornet's spiral climb, I guess. Anyway, look at the video from GR, I guess he means GS. Find Jerry's comment, read it, then if you will, run a test too to see if it's true. Okay, so Growling Sidewinder's video here. Just a one-on-one F-15 versus F-18, and the F-18 wins in a kind of, if you like, an equal turn fight. As the planes are configured, that's the first point, configuration. I've watched the video. Both are full fuel and no stores, which is interesting because the F-15 is at a large disadvantage in a full fuel fight because it's a air superiority fighter and it carries much more internal gas than an F-18. So already on the losing streak if you're going to go for a full fuel fight. We always do ours 50%. It just evens the planes up a bit. We're just going to read the first half of LaGrou's comment. This is about what we were talking about the climb maneuver. This is about overshooting, and this is about something else that's not as relevant per se. As the planes are configured, I would estimate that the F-18 has a thruster-weight ratio of about 1.1, and the F-15 has a thruster-ratio of about 1.6. Personally, I don't think that's true. I'm not going to sit here and work out the numbers, but an F-15 with full internal fuel, I thought would be way down, maybe less than 1.1, maybe. I'm not sure, but and I may be wrong, but that's just what I was thinking. While the F-18 has superior maneuverability to the F-15, your plane, the F-15, has several advantages over the F-18. Given the rules of engagement, guns only, no SAMs, no stealing, no floors, nothing in the ground to protect or destroy, no other actors, the engagement as presented should be a win for the F-15. I disagree with that completely. You made several mistakes that lead to the loss. First, the 1.1 thruster-weight ratio F-18 versus 1.6 F-15 thruster-weight ratio is only realised in level flight. And while there are more sophisticated ways of considering the impact of gravity, you can simply consider gravity as an additional factor to propel or slow the plane. In a 30-degree dive, gravity helps propel the aircraft forward. In a 30-degree spiral dive, the ratio behaves more like 1.6 for the F-18 versus 2.1 for the F-15. In a 30-degree spiral climb, gravity slows the plane. The ratio behaves more like, this is a climb, 0.6 for the F-18, 1.1 for the F-15. Aerodynamic capabilities of the planes matter more in the dive. The power to weight or power of the engines matter more in the climb, where he's saying that the F-15 will have an advantage. Entering a diving spiral with the F-18 was an error. If you get into the turn with an F-18, make sure you are climbing. If he climbs with you, your engine will eventually create a situation wherein your plane is maneuverable and his is not. If he does not climb with you, you will eventually have a situation where you can attack from above. Both outcomes are to your advantage. So what he's saying is, due to the more powerful engines or the power to weight on the F-15, it's preferable when you get into a fight with, say, an F-18 to go basically upwards. And what he's saying is that the F-18 will run out of KE and airspeed quicker and end up in a stalling situation, the inability to turn, whereas the F-15 will keep its KE, keep its speed, and have the ability to turn, and eventually will be able to loop over the top or something and get a shot. So at face value, kind of makes sense, right? The plane with a bigger engine can go up faster than the plane with a smaller engine. However, what we're going to talk about is our view, and then we're going to talk about an expert's view, and then we're going to go and try it. So my view is, and I'm no way an expert in ACM at all, it's one area really I don't touch. I leave it to Growling Sidewinder to do that. And same with RC, we're just not ACM guys. It's been probably 3 years since I even studied the basics of ACM. But the things that I've learned back then and the things that I've learned in practice are you don't go up. Even if you've got a plane with big powerful engines in an ACM fight, you don't go up. You always lose. It's what I've always been taught. Can I actually scientifically prove and model that? No, not at all. I'm not the foggiest. If anything, this sort of kind of makes sense. I've had lots of fights where I've been in an F-15 and I've been chased by a lesser plane in terms of kinetics, like an F-18, and I've gone high And I've been thinking there's no way he's going to catch me up, yet he does. Because when you go up against gravity, weird things aerodynamically and just in terms of gravity just happen. And it never seems to work out the way you think it's going to work out. Again, I can't really explain that. So I've got no proper proof, but anecdotally it doesn't make sense to me. Before I go to the professionals' answer, anything you want to say on that, RC?
It does make sense, like you said. Bigger engines, more energy, and the F-18 seems to bleed energy pretty easily.
Now we're in the lucky position of GR that we can attract some, cool customers. This is genuinely a military fighter pilot who's driven the F-15 and driven the Hornet, both in full testing, basically, to test their parameters. So we're very lucky to have this guy. I asked him about this because I don't know the answer. Took a look at the video and comments. I personally don't agree with the arguments made. However, it would require a conversation to cover everything. Cliff notes, never heard of a climbing spiral as an escape maneuver. That's what I was trying to get out in my explanation. I've never heard of going up. I've always heard of going down, level, or ideally going down. Very rarely do you do level turns. I'd agree with that. Almost always I go down, but there you go. Turns are based on energy or lift vector control. EM, energy management overlays, are used to determine where you have the advantage on threat and vice versa. You fly to the part of the envelope where you are superior and or force opponent to his weak area. To clarify my point, you generally are always unloading the aircraft and accelerating down and out and away from the fight. I cannot think of any reason to do some type of spiral in the vertical. You stay away from the vertical because it gives a clear, unobstructed background for any type of missile shot. So a climbing, there's one thing to note, this is guns only, there is no missiles involved, so that will change things a bit. Shot. So a climbing escape maneuver is something I've never seen, and that's probably the main reason not to go up, because if you go up, you put yourself at massive risk of a missile attack. As far as doing a video countering this video, I'm not interested. So I asked this pilot or ex-pilot to do a video with me to look at this comment here, but he's not interested, so he's got better things to do, basically. So that's my thoughts. Now let's go and give it the fairest test we can. Okay, welcome back. Myself and RC have been testing this, and we come up with some weird results, and we figured maybe it's just because we're old and crap, which is very likely. So we thought, let's get some youngsters in. We've got Tail, we've got Locke in here, and we're going to see how it goes. Stand by. Yeah, and burners on.
The airplane is really struggling with this.
Ah, you're fine, Tail. You're well over 300 knots.
Yeah, I know, but still bad.
That's the problem, you see. It's tactically just terrible. Doing this is tactically terrible. Even if this guy goes faster, he will lose.
Yep.
So I was at 190 knots. I was at 190 when I
Oh, now we can actually continue.
Okay, carry on.
Yeah.
Look it, continue.
Okay, we're neutralized now. Keep going up, keep going up, keep
You're
going up.
on my 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, come on, stop. 20,000 guys.
Yep. Yeah, this should be tested at a lower altitude where the Irish figure, because here you generally don't fight because it's pure stupidity. You get so bad performance.
Compare air speeds.
I'm at max burner.
Same.
Keep going up, don't bottle it guys, keep going up, don't bottle it. Test the physics. Interestingly, the F-18 is getting the better speed here. That's why it's getting away. The F-15 is just too heavy.
I think we should do this at a lower altitude.
Yeah, we'll both respawn and merge on the ground then. And this is actually quite a good spiral you've got going on. This is actually what I wanted. And max power.
Merge. Oh yeah, this is the one circle I'm interested in.
The F-15 is much faster.
Okay, and merge.
It was the same result.
I'm at about a 10-degree climb.
Well, okay, I will jump into your one circle now.
So they went up head, nose to nose again.
Tail, if you break, I'll recommit on you.
Well, Cap, let me say like this. It isn't firstly natural at all because yeah, altitude is life insurance, speed is life. So yeah, you like kill both at the same time as you're climbing almost, because it isn't good to climb and turn upwards at the same time.
Okay, I'll go into about a 10-degree up.
Well, let's do like this. First snappy turn, and then I will jump onto you our 6 o'clock here.
So let's look purely at the kinetics. So this time you're going to play ball, and you're not really dogfighting. You're just going to chase each other around a spiral. So the F-18 is going to chase the F-15 up around a climbing spiral from 10,000 to 20,000, say. Full burn, you know, go as fast as you can, and try and get your best turn speed of 300 or, you know, whatever it is you want to do. And I want to see if that F-18 does fall back, or if it actually can gain on the F-15. So we're purely looking at kinetics of a consensual climbing spiral.
Yep, I'm punching up the burners. So
Up
now,
Off you go.
copy that.
Right, we'll see how the Hornet kinetically can stick with the F-15.
I'm at 319, 318, dropping.
This is the speed that I can actually hold.
300. 290.
Yeah, the F-18 definitely doesn't have the legs.
270. Dropping rapidly now.
Yep. You can see that F-15 gets smaller and smaller.
Oh yeah, up he goes.
So yeah, technically,
4,600 feet away from me now.
Yeah.
Disappearing at 60 feet a second.
Okay, guys, let's hold that. Let's hold that. So we've established two things. We've done loads of probably 10 or 11 actual fights now, and we found every time the guy that is, if you like, kind of leading upwards in the dogfight, there's always going to be, you know, a leader and a trail to some extent. Is always the guy that loses. So in a dogfight, just like I've always been taught, if you go up, you're dead. What's the physics of that? I don't know. I'm not smart enough, and I don't understand. But purely testing the kinetics in a consensual way like this, where one guy's just chasing around, then the LaGrou is right in that the F-15 clearly has better kinetics going upwards. It's retaining its energy much better. Is it turning better? I have no idea, probably not. But it is at least escaping. Is that actually useful in a dogfight from what we've seen? No. It just, to be honest, makes you a better target. As far as I can see, that's busted. Any comments from the pilots or RC?
Nope.
Pretty straightforward.
kinetically, it is sound. Dogfight, technically, not so sound.
And
that's about it.
Yeah, and that's the way it works in a lot of dogfights. You can get one plane on paper, it's got all the power, it's got all the wing, it's got everything, and then you go and put them against each other with another plane, and in a dogfight, the other plane wins all the time. It's the mechanics of the dogfight are incredibly complicated, and I'm obviously not the man to explain them to you because I don't really understand them. But yeah, it's not always as simple as it seems. Very good. Okay, chaps, hope you enjoyed that. See you later.